الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى وذنوني ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين. Nations are not destroyed, they don't fall when their actions are only corrupted. Nations are destroyed and they fall from the stream of Allah, and they deserve the wrath of Allah when their knowledge and the concept of life and when their ilm is corrupted. When the concept how to carry on life and what to do in what situation, when this knowledge is corrupted, when their ilm is corrupted, that's when they fall, that's when they are destroyed. So if a person knows what is right and his knowledge is correct, his ilm is correct, and he makes a mistake, and he commits a mistake and he goes wrong, there is a chance and there is high chance of him to come back on track and to fulfill and to recompense what he has, what the mistake he has made. But when a person commits something wrong and he thinks of it as right, then there is no way he could come back, and that's what corruption of knowledge means. So, and this happens when people are disconnected with the scholars, when they are not constantly connected with the scholars of Deen. That's when they start, because everybody is learning something every day. So when we don't learn from the correct people, we will learn from the wrong people. And when the knowledge is learned wrongly, and when this wrong knowledge goes in, then obviously wrong actions will come out. That's why one of the greatest mission of evil, of shaitan, of devil, shaitan, is to disconnect people from ulama, to disconnect the believers from ulama, from the scholars, so that they don't get to hear what is right, so they don't get the right concept of life, and they don't get to understand what to do in what situation. So I was listening to this Grand Mufti of Pakistan, and he was expressing his thoughts about the current situation of this virus. So I thought, and it was very beneficial, and it was very beneficial for everyone to understand, and what to do in this current situation. So what he said, I just wanted to share the gist of it, of what he said, that the current situation is getting intense day by day. The numbers are increasing daily. And before, in the beginning, we were just listening about this virus in the news. But now, we all have some far family members or friends or people whom we know infected or may have passed away because of causing this virus. Now we are experiencing it, and now we know it for sure that it is a reality. It's not a conspiracy anymore. Before, people were thinking, no, it's just a conspiracy and there is no reality to it. But now we are seeing it as that it is reality. But fearing it extraordinarily is not going to help, you know, because there is so much. This virus is talked about in the news so much, in the social media so much, that, and there's so much, there's a lot of confusing news about it, information about it, that people are really confused. That's what he said, that people are confused, and that's why they are not taking this virus, this situation seriously. And when they are not taking this seriously, they are not preparing for it, they are not taking the precautions. So very first thing in nowadays, which needs to be clarified, first of all, that it is a reality. And it doesn't matter that it is a natural thing or it has been made. It doesn't matter. uh, it's a reality, and we know it for sure that it is from Allah. We know it for sure it's from Allah. So very first step, very first thing what he talked about is that fearing it and spreading the news of it, and spreading fear about it is not going to help, to get out of this situation peacefully. So and the reason why the fear has been spread and the confusion has been spread is, what he said is, that everybody just forwards every single news, every single post he gets, he just forward it. He just forwards it, and without investigating it, without knowing the authenticity of it. And that's when he said that that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave his ummah this ruling, that kafa bil mar'i kadiban an yuhaddisa bi kulli ma sami'a. That for a person, aw kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam, that for a person it's enough to be a liar. For a person, it's enough to be a liar that he conveys everything he hears without investigating it, without knowing the authenticity of it. So this is what the people are involved in, that everybody is forwarding everything, whatever they receive from anyone, without knowing the authenticity of it. And that's why the fear has been spread. False assumptions have been spread. So he said, lies produces false assumptions, and false assumptions produces destruction. When people assume bad things about others and bad things about situations, that's when the destructions happen. So anyway, the very first thing he said, that everybody needs to stop spreading the news, spreading everything what they hear and what they receive. So, and then people needs to get out of the confusion of this, that it is a conspiracy or it's a reality. And then people needs to take it seriously. Nowadays we have two kinds of people. One are those who are taking it so seriously, too seriously, and they are so fear, and they have locked themselves totally, and they're too cautious. And the second kind, he said, are those people who are not even considering it as a reality. They have not taken they're not paying any attention to it. They're not paying any attention to it. They're not taking it seriously, and that's why they're not taking the precautions seriously. And then he talked about the precautions. When people will understand it's a reality and it is from Allah, then for sure they will take the precautions. Now we have two kinds of precautions. One is physical precautions, and one is the spiritual precaution. The spiritual precaution needs to be taken first. That's the first step, because this is what the believer is taught. This is what the Muslims and mu'mineen are taught. That every situation which befalls upon them, they need to think of it that they need to believe in this, that this situation has come from Allah. And whenever they are tested with any harmful situation, from the very first thought which is mentioned in Quran, they have in their hearts is that it is because of our wrongdoings. وَمَا كَانَ قَوْلُهُمْ إِلَّا أَنْ قَالُوا رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا ذُنُوبَنَا وَإِسْرَافَنَا فِي أَمْرِنَا وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا وَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. Anbiya alayhim salatu wasalam, whenever they used to be tested with harmful situations, with these kind of problems, very first thing they used to do, they used to seek forgiveness from Allah, and they used to admit their mistakes, and they used to do mistakes before Allah. So this is the very first precaution we need to take, that admitting our mistakes before Allah, that we had been living a life which was filled with negligence about Allah, which was filled with the disobedience of Allah, and this situation is a result of all of that. This is called turning towards Allah. This is what the Mufti Sahib, the great Mufti, the Grand Mufti of Pakistan, he said that the greatest precaution is to turn towards Allah. We all need to turn towards Allah. Now, normally what we do, we take all of our precautions first. We take all the other precautions first, and then in the end, when we are hopeless from everything, then we turn towards Allah. A person is sick, he goes to the doctor, he gets diagnosed, and he gets tested, and he takes all the medicines, and he gets all the treatment, and after everything, when everything doesn't work, then he turns towards Allah. Then he says, "Oh Allah, now you're gonna do it." No, the very first step should be turning towards Allah. Then a person needs to take all the precautions, for sure, and this procedure needs to be done constantly, not just once, that we sit down once and then we turn ourselves towards Allah and we beg Allah and we ask forgiveness from Allah, and one day we just take all the precaution, we put on the mask, and we make sure that we are washing our hands, and we are taking, not only once, we need to do it constantly until we get out of this situation. Constantly we need to be turning towards Allah. Constantly we need to be taking all the precautions. This is the message he gave to the entire ummah, that and the most what he was emphasizing on it was that stop spreading the confusion among the people. That the more they are going to be confused, the more they are not going to take the precautions. And when the precautions are not taken, then we will see, then we are already experiencing what is going on. That the numbers are increasing day by day. So turning towards Allah, that is the greatest precaution. Anbiya alayhim salatu wasalam, whenever they fall into problems, they turn right away towards Allah. This is what the hadith also says, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whatever, even if the wind blows a little bit fast, and if he experienced a change in the weather, he used to rush towards the masjid, rush towards Allah, rush towards the salah. So that's not only once, that's every time when anything wrong happens. This is what his sunnat was. So turning towards Allah not only means that we sit down and we beg Allah, we admit our mistakes. The real turn towards Allah is that we back off from all the wrongdoings we have in our life. We all know what haram we have in our lives. That the things that we look at, which are haram, and the things that we eat which are haram, the haram dealings we have. So backing off from all the haram we have in our life, that is what turning towards Allah means. That's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changes the situations. And this is our belief. This is uh, this is the real truth. This is haqq. This is truth. That the way the situations have come from Allah, they are going to be lifted by Allah only, all alone. No one else can lift this situation. We don't have to rely on anything. We have the reliance have to be only on Allah. And when a person relies totally on Allah, that's when Allah gives him protection. When a person turns himself totally towards Allah, that's when Allah gives him protection. And this is the time in which we really need protection, because there are so many other problems which are generating from this situation. People are depressed. People are going through depression. People are losing their jobs. People are people are facing family problems. There are multiple problems which are generating from this one situation. So if we turn ourselves totally towards Allah, we connect to Allah, we connect to His word, to the Quran, then the real protection from Allah will come, and Allah will protect us from not only this virus, from all the other problems which are generating from this virus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq to act upon whatever we have heard. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun